Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today I'm bringing you guys the second installment of my Wayne Sharp World Knife of the Year Awards for 2021, and today's category is the 50-ish to 100. Now, this is probably going to be the longest video of the series, so I'm going to try and make this one a little faster. This was by far, in my opinion, the best price category of the year with so many incredible offerings. I've got a packed list here. What do I got here? I've got 8 knives. So I've got 5 honorable mentions, and I got your top 3. There's just some that I couldn't leave out. They're so good. There was so much value in these knives and just uniqueness in the designs and attractiveness. There's so many good things going on with these. I wanted to show you all of them so you were aware of them if you haven't seen them yet. So let's get right into it, and let's get on with this list. We're going to start with honorable mentions, and the first honorable mentions is a White Mountain Knives exclusive, and that is the Artisan Cutlery Small Arion. Now, this guy is coming in at, I believe $70 for this version. Please don't quote me on that. I thought I had this is the one. For some reason, I missed the price on this one in my notes. But there's so many versions too. That $70 price tag won't hold true for all of them. They just came out with a all titanium, kind of a premium version. That one may be north of 100. You'll have to hop on their site. I'll have this link below to all the mini Arions. Or small Arions, but this one here, this really got me turned on to the Arion series in general. I never thought I would like this knife. It was one that it came out, I looked at it and I thought, you know what, it's just, I don't think it's my style. So I just kind of, batted my eyelashes and moved on, and luckily, I decided to just pick one up off the recommendation of a few viewers, and as usual, they were right. Middle finger flicking action on this guy. Fantastic. Blade steel. Very nice with the AR RPM 9. Overall blade design in general, very good. I can't say I usually love kind of that spear point design, but I like this one. I like it a lot. I love these, I think it's red coral or deep red coral micarta scales. Love the way they're patinaing and just the actual look of them. You do get a good layer and color contrast from the lighter maroonish color to the darker purple or maroon, whatever you want to call it. Very nice. You have a stonewash clip that I always appreciate, and a clip that doesn't feel too bad in hands. Definitely no hot spot, and I like the way they flatten that ramp up there. Very solid lockup with the liner lock, and more than anything, just another very good option of a big knife that was made small. It was executed very well, and it's another fantastic exclusive from White Mountain Knives. In all honesty, guys, my 100% unbiased opinion, even though they do support this channel, White Mountain Knives, they have the best exclusives. They have been partnering with Kaiser and Artisan and other manufacturers to bring you guys some fantastic exclusives, and they usually they do good runs, do a high quantity of runs to where they don't sell out in 20 minutes. These small Arions were available for quite a long time, and I think these ones may have sold out, but I'm not sure. I will have it linked below regardless for you to check out. But like I said, then they came out with the small Arions. They were the premium version with I want to say, I think that was M390 or 20 CV, something like that. It was a premium steel, all titanium milled handles. It's just fantastic work they're doing over there at White Mountain Knives. Be sure to check them out. Follow this link and check out the rest of their site and see just what they have there. And if you find something you want from them, use that code WSW10 for 10% off at White Mountain Knives. And this one is definitely worth picking up, as well as the mini and just about anything else from White Mountain, because it's just a great retailer to do business with. But the Artisan Cutlery Small Arion coming in at an honorable mention. Now, next up, I had referenced a QSP that I thought was just as good as the Hawk yesterday, and that is none other than the Qsp Ganette. Now, this Ganette, I'm really torn on this because the action is ridiculously smooth, especially on deployment, and it shakes shut very easily. I haven't carried this one in a while. It probably needs more KPL. But what I like most about this is the simple front flipper design. The handle kind of reminds me of something old school, but it also has a nice slicey blade with, of course, 154 cm. I was thinking 14C 28N on this, but 154 cm, still a great steel. What really hurt this one for me was this handle scale material choice. I don't know why companies are doing this, because Qsp is not the only one. Savivi's doing it too. I hope it doesn't become a thing or more of a trend than it is already, because I hate this combination of burlap micarta and carbon fiber. Now, don't get me wrong, or snakeskin carbon fiber. And micarta in general, I like. Carbon and fiber in general, I like. I actually love both of these two, but I think they're a horrible pairing. I don't know why they do it. But it is what it is. It did affect some of the placement of this knife, but what kept it as an honorable mention was just the fantastic overall execution of the knife. The action is great. You can, of course, do the reach around on this guy. So there you go for everyone waiting for it. It is indeed reach around approved and pretty easy to do, even for a big knife, which usually is not always the case with bigger front flippers. But just a very nice knife, one that might even go really good with a thumb disc. I think I would like to see a thumb disc there. That'd be pretty sweet. But just a very fun knife to fidget with, and especially use a nice thin slicey blade, a nice hand-filling handle that is contoured so it feels good in your hands. Yeah, it's a very solid offering. It's coming in at $82.50, so it's getting closer to that $100 mark. But I think $82.50, you're still getting a pretty good deal. And I wish they would do something about this. If they came out with another version of this scale material that is just one solid, carbon fiber or micarta or who knows what, I would probably definitely pick one up, because even with these scales though, it's still a great knife, guys. And some people like this. If you like this choice for handle material, then this is a 100% winner for you. One I would definitely recommend, the Qsp Ganette, coming in at $82.50. Next up, we have a Savivi, and this one is the Savivi Imperium. Now, this one may surprise some people. Some people may have been expecting to see this in the top 3, and to be honest, it was in the top 3 for a long time. And over the past month or so, there's been some amazing releases that have come out and have just bumped this knife out into the honorable mentions. But as you saw in my list, this is my second favorite Savivi. And it is that good. If it wasn't for the brazen being so perfect in every way, this would pretty easily be number 1. But coming in at number 2, definitely a knife I would still recommend. Fantastic action, very, very fidgety knife. This knife feels just a little smoother on the close too than other Savivis. Reach around approved, of course, and it's got that nice feel to a gentleman's carry. One that would go good in an office setting or a church setting or any type of setting where you're dressing up. Obviously, the scale choice may not be the best, but you can dye these jade scales in just about any color you want. And it's just an excellent blade. It's a blade that is very, very much enjoyable to use with a nice slicey tip and a ridiculously, let's get that in focus, a ridiculously thin blade. This guy was coming in at, I think, 11 or 12 thousandths. So even with the narrow blade, you have a very slicey edge on an excellent knife with Nitro V steel. It's really hard to beat the Imperium. Now, the Imperium ranges in price. It starts at $68, which is what this knife is at, which I think is a fantastic, phenomenal deal. And it goes up to $89, depending on if you want the Damascus and whatnot. I think getting the Damascus version of this knife is a huge mistake, just in my opinion, because the Nitro V outperforms Damascus any day of the week by a landslide. So you're really sacrificing some pretty nice steel for a rather mediocre steel, and you're just going with the visual pleasure you may get from Damascus over a performing steel like Nitro V. But regardless, this is just a fantastic knife, one that I'd recommend to anyone. Even though it's an honorable mention, it put up a good fight to be in the top 3, and it is just an excellent knife, the Savivi Imperium. Now, we've got two more honorable mentions, and we're going to start off with the CJRB. This one here is the CJRB Scoria, and this is coming in at $69.99 with their AR RPM 9 steel. And I've got to say, in terms of ergos, this is probably the best knife you'll see on this episode. The ergos are just fantastic. I love that finger choil. I love that just the shaping of the handle is perfect for the rest of your hand. It fills your hand, sits well in your palm. You even got a little extra at the end there. This is basically a budget hinderer in terms of, with better ergos than a hinderer. But if you like the feel, if you like the visual appearance of a hinderer, you're going to like this CJRB Scoria. Yes, it's made in China. I'm over that. This knife is, for $69.99, it has enough quality. I'm not concerned with, there's no quality concerns whatsoever for me. And it's got that nice milled titanium clip, flat, wide, and even contoured. One of the best clips I've ever experienced on a knife. And the more I talk about this knife, I still wonder, how did this not make the top 3? Just because it's not in the top 3 doesn't mean it's not a damn good knife. And this definitely one I'd recommend. Very fidget friendly. You got your flipper here, and then you also have your thumb studs, which you can flick with your regular thumb, and then you can kick out with your middle finger. So it works very well and all of that. And that's one thing of this knife that I don't exactly love, the liner lock. Now, you have a good lockup with it. It's kind of hard to, yeah, solid lockup there, but it feels a little stiff. A little stiff on the liner lock, and it's just, I feel like I'm smashing my thumb in there a little more than I would like to close the blade. One of the very few knacks I have on it, but other than that, man, it really is an excellently executed design from CJRB. I hope they come out with more versions of this. I definitely would like to see, you know, a marbled carbon fiber with a stone-washed blade. That would be awesome. Anything other than the fully blacked out. I like the accents they did with kind of just the raw, like the silverish look from just the regular metal, steel, aluminum, titanium, whatever you want to call it. This is a titanium pocket clip, and of course this is probably just stainless steel up here. But I kind of like that black and silver look. But other than that, it's just a great knife, guys. Very fidgety, very smooth for the most part. Nice blade, carries like a dream. In hand, like I said, the ergos are the best on this one. Very, very solid offering and a great option, the CJRB Scoria. Now, one more knife before we crack our top 3, and this one was bumped at the last, literally like a week and a half ago. It was bumped out of the top 3, and that is the Kaiser Critical Mini. This knife, I'm still a little torn about not having this in the top 3, but I've got to stay consistent because you'll see why here in just a second. But I love this knife. I really do. I love the way it feels in my hand. I love the slicey blade. And most importantly, I love the aesthetics on this. I don't know what it is with this knife. It's just the design of it. It really does it for me. I love this clip on the back that is deep carry, recessed screws, high enough ramp, surprisingly, to get over any pocket hem that, at least that I have, that I tried to put it through. And just a design that works. Christensen Knife Works really just absolutely knocked this one out of the park. I love this knife, and I really want to put it in the top 3, but as it sits now, it's an honorable mention, and it's coming in at $99, but I believe right now it's on sale for $89, and it has a very unique steel, CPM 3V, which is something you don't see on a lot of folding knives, but you do on this Kaiser Critical Mini, and I think you're going to see it maybe a little more moving forward. Kaiser seems to like to play around with that on folding knives, which I think is awesome. I think Kaiser in general is pretty darn awesome. They're my favorite manufacturer of knives under $100, which I'm sure most of you probably know by now. But the Critical Mini, if you have not checked it out, definitely worth checking out. The action is amazing. One of the best flippers in the Kaiser lineup, and that closing action is very smooth, easily shakes shut, and the blade just shoots out of there. So nice. Huge fan of this knife. I'm never going to be okay about not having it in my top 3, but that's where it is. Still one I would recommend all day, every day, the Kaiser Critical Mini. Now we are in our top 3, and we're going to stick with that Kaiser theme, and now you guys probably know why. We have the Kaiser Towser K. You just saw my top 10 list. I had to put this ahead of the Mini Critical just because of the value aspect and what you're getting with it. It's the smoothest knife Kaiser's ever made in terms of just blade action. Thumb studs are perfect. If you're quick enough, you can do that. And if you're lucky, you won't take a chunk of your thumb with you because you have a very slicey blade with 154 cm steel. A price coming in at, I believe this was right in the, let's see, $62. Right now, this has got to be a sale price too, because I could have swore it was in the 70s. It may have been, I think it was maybe $72.99 or $71.99, something like that when it first came out. But right now, I saw the micarta version on sale on Amazon for $62. Now, granted, I'm going to be uploading this video a few days after I actually recorded this, so I hope they're still in stock. Oh, no, actually, wait, I take that back. They're actually not in stock right now, but through Amazon and Kaiser, you have the option to where it says coming soon, and you can order it now. So you have the option to order one of these now for $62. Now, I did not see this Richlight version. That was the red micarta version, which is still a pretty awesome version for $62. You can't beat that for $62. The differences between the Richlight and the micarta, obviously, the Richlight is not contoured. It's a different color, of course, and it's really a completely different material. I just heard from a viewer this morning when I was going through reading and responding to comments that he said Richlight is antimicrobial. Now, that's just what I heard. I haven't done my research yet. I'm planning on looking that up later today or tomorrow. Again, I'm going to be posting this on Tuesday, so it's not going to, a few days difference. But if that's true, if this is antimicrobial, that's awesome, especially in this COVID craziness we're going through. That's really, really cool. It's the exact opposite of micarta, which can, hold some bacteria and crud in the grain and the material itself, so it can maybe be a little absorbent. So that's amazing to know that this is antimicrobial, if that is indeed true. So I'm going to be looking that up, and outside of that, this knife is just, there's nothing to really knock on it. There's a little flex here in the handle, just a little. That's going to be, some people won't like that, but me personally, in the past I've had issues with handle flex, but not on this one. This is nowhere close to anything like a bug out. For me personally, it feels totally solid enough in hand. No durability concerns whatsoever, and I love holding it just like this. Just like this. You got your index finger down here on this very nice grippy jimping, and then up top you have, they went overboard with the jimping here, overboard in a good way. I love this jimping up top of the blade. It gives you just a little more room if you have to, for some reason, get up and do a little more powerful slice with that tip, or if you want to just use the whole blade. They did a good job of keeping the thumb stud behind the entire cutting path of the blade. And it comes down to just a very good edge. I believe it was coming in, what was it, like 18 to 20 thousandths, 19 to 20 thousandths, something like that. Very nice edge on this blade, though. And, of course, that smooth, fidgety middle finger flicking goodness, as well as the thumb stud goodness. Best knife Kaiser has ever made with just thumb studs. The thumb stud action, whether you're using your thumb or middle finger, is just phenomenal. Very, very addictive. And something that I hope Kaiser continues to do is use these multi-row bearings. These multi-row bearings are fantastic. They just offer a next level of smoothness to the action of this knife. I almost missed talking about the clip, which is very nice. I like the design of it. The coated matte black is very nice. It's not shiny. It does a very good job of staying a little more discreet in the pocket. Looks good over that darker blue, that navy-ish kind of cobalt blue. And you have recessed screws. Goes in and out of the pocket just fine. one of the hardest Kaisers to beat. If you're looking for your first Kaiser and you like thumb studs, again, some people prefer flippers, some like multiple options. If you're okay with just thumb studs, this knife is a home run. For the price, it's very, very hard to beat, and it is easily one of the best knives of the year. That's why it's coming in at number 3, the Kaiser Towser K. Now we are coming to number 2, and we have a surprise here at number 2. If you guys normally watch my channel, you may know what it is, but it worked its way in, and people are going to think I'm crazy for putting this in front of the Kaiser Towser K, but it's the Kivist Variant PE. You guys, I love this knife. You saw my review of it. It was a knife that I reached out. Well, first, let's go over the quick specs on this. Or the specs I've been pointing out for all of them. We have a price of $69 and a blade steel of 14C28N. I just commented to a viewer who thought that, it was just kind of meh. But personally, for me, in my opinion, 14C28N, G10 at $69, I'll take that almost all day. I mean, that's a hell of a lot better than D2 and G10. 14C28N meets all the things I look for in a steel, and $69 for this quality, this action. This is built by QSP. It's so smooth. I have zero problem paying $69 for a good design G10, 14C28N. That's a winner for me all day. And this knife is just even a little elevated more because it has some of the smoothest action, especially on deployment. And keep in mind too, this was out of the box. I have yet to open this up and do my own little magic or work or whatever you want to call to it. But just out of the box, so smooth. This is one of the most effortless knives to middle finger flick, even with somewhat of a narrow cutout that's more within the handle. Sometimes you're feeling like you have to really dig that middle finger in. You don't. You just set it there and kick it out, and it's super smooth. It's an excellent gentleman's knife. It's an excellent casual carry. It's an excellent knife in general. It truly is an EDC. You carry it every day, and you get excellent performance from it. You get, I think, an attractive design that would stand out to some people. They may say, oh, hey, where'd you get that? It's just that good. And it was one that was not sent to me upon the maker's request. Jacob Lundquist, the designer and owner of Kivist Blade Works, he didn't reach out to me. I reached out to him because I really wanted to check this knife out, and he was confident enough in it to send one my way. And I liked it so much, I paid him full price out of my own pocket for it. He didn't give me a discount. I sent him the money. I just said, Jason, you done went and did it, man. You made a knife that I just can't send back to you. And he was obviously happy to hear that. And he took my money, and I was happy to give it to him. I'm not in this community for handouts, for freebies. I'm in it to give you guys my opinion, to connect with everybody, and bring knives that I enjoy to you. And this is one of them. And I just really do enjoy it. I look forward to seeing what else he has coming out, not just in terms of new designs, but other versions of this model. I'd love to see other versions. I mentioned a marble carbon fiber version would be awesome. I think an all titanium version would be awesome. So there's a lot of options to make with this knife. Another thing that I think would be really sweet with this knife is to add some type of a front flipper element. That would definitely take a lot more, ingenuity and creativity to actually pull something like that off. That's not just quite changing the, handle material or something, but this knife just has a lot of potential and excellent ergos. Don't let this area scare you off. I actually think that looks good. It adds that little flair, and when it's closed, it's beautiful. So smooth, just an excellent design that flows well from top to bottom. And it feels great in the hand. No hot spots, no nothing. You feel the clip ramp a little, but again, it's not a hot spot, and the handle is so wide, it helps hide it. And it sits in your palm well. Swaybacks sometimes don't feel that great in my hand. This one finds a home in my hand, and it's going to stay there. Now that I bought it, you're going to see it in some of my Wayne Sharp weeks because it's that good. It really is that good. The Kivist Variant PE coming in at $69. It will be linked below to Jacob's website so you guys can pick one up. And don't miss out on this. Don't miss out on this. Super smooth, super fidgety, super good. The Kivist Variant PE. Now we have come to number one, and number one was pretty secure from the moment I reviewed this knife, guys. You know I love Ray Laconico. You know I love front flippers. I love this knife. It's the Artisan Cutlery Sirius coming in at number one. Now, there's a lot to love about this knife. First, I love the options. We're going to talk about this specific option because this is the option that comes in under $100. This is at $69.99 to be exact. It comes with the AR RPM 9 steel, and it comes with that Ray Laconico design language that is just always a winner in my books. Guys, it's no secret here. Is there a little bias when it comes to me picking my top three based off my personal preferences? Absolutely, but it's my channel, so I have to add that touch of my preferences and not just what I think everybody likes. I want to show stuff that everybody likes, but this knife was so good, there's no way I couldn't have put it at number one. I love everything about it. I love the slender design. It has that Ray elegance to it, that swedge. This is kind of, this type, drop point blade with a swedge is kind of what I start to think about when I think about Ray Laconico. Drop point swedge, and then from there on, you're talking most likely a front flipper or thumb studs. He does do some flippers sometimes, but he always has that nice slender handle that is slightly contoured, an excellent clip. I don't think Ray ever does deep carry clips on his knives. None that I can think of, at least none that were truly his. I don't know if he may have did a collab with someone that had a deep carry clip, but usually he designs his knives a little old school with just a regular clip that shows a little of the knife, which I like. And this is an excellent clip right here. It's even slightly contoured, so it's just that little bit extra touch smoother in hand, but it still just disappears in your hand. No hot spots on this knife whatsoever. You feel that a little there on your finger, but again, it's not an issue for me. And I just love the length and aesthetics of this blade. Love the edge. It's a nice slicey edge. I want to say it's around 18 thousandths, I think, if I remember right. And it's just the complete package. And that excellent little pop of kind of just an accent, not a whole lot of color, but more of an accent color with that brass pivot. And all over the knife is that Ray Fuller. It's everything about Ray Laconico at an affordable price from a quality manufacturer in Artisan Cutlery. And I couldn't be happier with this one. The front flipping action is fantastic. And of course, you can do that good old reach around. And the only thing that I don't know, I would like to see dual thumb studs, but you really can't do it the way it's designed. So that just kind of is what it is. And this thumb stud works great, even though I did that one like a complete baby. Pops out, and you just have to be mindful that when you're deploying this blade, you can't flip it up. You have to kind of go out with it. But once you go out with it, it kicks out so well. If you are a lefty, you can middle finger flick it. You just have to, kind of get used to it. Since I am a righty, the fact that I just did it on my second attempt under the camera is, I think, goes to show for just how easily it can be done. But once you get it down, very, very easily. I'll let you lefties take that from there on that. But just a great design, guys. It's so... Yeah, I'm going to stop rambling about it because I like it that much. I've kind of run out of things to say about it, but it is number one for a very good reason. The Artisan Cutlery Sirius. And then let's get the rest of these knives up here and show you what we got for 2021 in the 50-ish to 100 category. So many good options. This was by far, in my opinion, the best category of knives to buy from in 2021. All the other options and other categories are really good, but there's something about that price range of 50-ish to 100 that makes knives very affordable, very enjoyable. It gets you kind of some exotic materials that I think everybody will enjoy and appreciate, like rich light and quality micarta and something like that if it's your thing. But it's great. It's so good. This is the category. If I had to pick one category to tell everyone that's on a budget or not, check out one of these knives, I do think this is the best category. It was my favorite category. I enjoyed bringing this one to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop those comments below. Let me know what you think. Did I miss one? I really hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.